Welcome back to the channel. We're out here on a 26-degree day. It is mighty chilly and it's windy, so it feels even colder. We've got some of our hardy perennials here. We've got some of our elderberry, yarrows, echinaceas, mums, oregano, just some random stuff that I had unloaded that I knew would survive outside the greenhouse for a day or two. Got some of my cold hardy figs, these little rose bushes. These are perennials, but wanted to see what it would do inside the greenhouse. A bunch of our red vein sorrel, some of our stevia here, some stevia flowering, lots of rosemary there. I'm going to keep all these in the greenhouse and see if I can't keep those alive this winter. Now the weather has changed on us and we're dealing with colder temperatures. We're sitting about 45-ish degrees in the greenhouse and it's about 26 degrees outside. So that's not bad for not having much sunlight and not having any solar activity in here right now. I mean, we've got our geothermal running and I kind of want to take some temps from that. So let's check out our geothermal temps real quick. I've got this geothermal and this has actually been running. It's still haphazardly wired together because I am still in progress on all of my Jean Pain compost heating. What's holding me back on my Jean Pain heating right now is the fact that I want to run air through it. So I am trying to acquire some type of 3-inch tubing about this size diameter, but I would like to find some flex tubing and I haven't found any cheap enough or used yet, so I'm still trying to acquire that. In the worst case scenario, I may just run water through it this winter, but I'd really like to be able to pull some hot air from the compost like I did in my small greenhouse, because our small greenhouse had the compost pinned right up to the wall and this is going to have a gap in between. But I really want to have hot air blowing through into the greenhouse because I won't have that insulation of my compost up against the back wall of my greenhouse, my northern wall here. All right, so why I was talking about that is because I am unfinished with a lot of things. I've got gaps in my windows, leading the temperature down to about 30 on this side of the greenhouse because the air is blowing through here and cooling this one down more so than the other end. The other end sealed up pretty well. So I've got some cold temps coming in here. So this entire side of the greenhouse with my unfinished window and my door that was flapping open when I came out here and my hole I have dug because I'm running lines through that and I have to insulate and create some type of structure so my lines don't get damaged. So I've got a bunch of gaps on this side of the greenhouse, making it a lot colder. So I am pulling about 30 degrees from this window and kind of cooling off this side of the greenhouse. So I'm working on getting that sealed up today. I'm getting my shade cloths taken off the greenhouse because we absolutely don't need those anymore. The shade cloths are just inhibiting the light and warmth we need for these plants right now because the temps are not really going to be much warmer than they are right now. So we're pulling about 30 degrees into this geothermal system here. So we're gonna go check. I want to see what kind of temps we're blowing back out of this geothermal pipe here. So the surface ground is about 38 and we're blowing about 43. Yeah, about 43 degrees. So 43 degrees through this little vent means we're transferring about 10 or 11, maybe 12 degrees from the air that we're intaking on the cold side and blowing it through the ground and transferring about 10 degrees. If we had a little bit warmer and more optimal temperatures, if the sun was up, we usually push about 50 degrees plus out of this pipe. And being that it's so cold in here, I was kind of surprised to see that it was still pushing about 40 degrees. I figured it would have been about the same, but the geothermal pipe is buried and we've got about 50 feet of pipe, about 7.5 to 8 feet underneath this entire walkway in my greenhouse, from that pipe all the way up to this pipe and the other pipe behind me here. So I found that very interesting with the data on that. So if we had our greenhouse completely sealed up here, we might be able to reach better temperatures as all of the air circulates through the entire system over and over. We would be transferring closer to 50 degrees, I believe. The next step, we are getting these shade cloths off and then we're going to be taking our second layer of poly and putting it on this greenhouse. I gotta wash all the outside of my poly off because I've got some leaves and some debris and plants that had grown up my greenhouse. So we've got a lot of work to do in getting this thing ready for winter. And plants planting all of my perennials is another step I have to do. So I'm going to do a lot of work inside the greenhouse until it warms up outside today, if it does at all. We're supposed to reach a high of about 40, but we've got about 40-mile-an-hour winds going on out there, so I don't see it getting very, very warm. I've got these Egyptian walking onions that I want to start a new bed, and I've got some down here, so I may just keep these inside my greenhouse. I've got leeks, corn salad or mache, and I've got a bunch of onions. So I've got a bunch of intercroppable onions and leeks, and this is just a little tip for growing in winter, that you want to intercrop all of your onions because they can keep mice and pests away. They can keep all of the bugs away from your plants and keep some of the slugs away. So it's not a foolproof method for keeping bugs away and pests away from your plants during the winter time, but it does certainly help. I've tested this and I've used it, and there's a reason that most gardeners have onions intercropped into all of their leafy green. So I just thought I would grab the camera and share my temperature data with everybody, just kind of see what's going on in the greenhouse. I've got a bunch of seeds I've got to get planted. I've got all these new beds that I kind of sifted the soil, gonna get all that planted. We've got tomatoes still actually very much alive, green tomatoes on them. We've got some red tomatoes down there, and I've got a Mexican sunflower that is very susceptible to frost. You can see that it got a little cold, or maybe this one got damaged, but these are actually very much alive. I'm quite shocked that this is doing well, because I have a lot of these outside that are all dead, completely dead, all the way down to the ground. So maybe it is our geothermal pipe there that's actually helping and aiding this. But these are very sensitive to cold, so we are yet to see much frost damage. Dang, this thing's got a monster stalk on it. I'm gonna be able to save an absolute ton of these Mexican sunflower seeds from all of these heads here. This was a really interesting grow inside the greenhouse. They have really, really pretty flowers, and we wanted to collect all those seeds. We've got all this Morris heading collards coming up here, and these are doing well. I can't wait to start eating some of these big green leaves on them. Lots of beets coming up, all of our turnips down here, and then we've got this entire bed. So where our tomatoes start all the way down the entire greenhouse, we are going to be bending some pipes and getting this all covered up and running all of our PEX tubing and pulling all of our compost heating, or our John Payne compost heating system together, and we'll be starting all of that up. So definitely look out for the next updates. I was not ready for these cold temperatures. I was enjoying summertime, but winter is definitely upon us, and we've got a lot of work to do. So look out for the next updates, and I want to thank everybody for watching these videos.